Hello, BookTube. Well, we're on another piece of technology. This is the very old MacBook that I have. Still has photo booth. Still appears to work just fine. And I'm casting all around here to see which setup works best and looks best to you. And seems easiest. You never know how these things are going to work. So I thought we'd just chat for a bit. I got a mail haul earlier today, but I just opened it in the front hallway. Didn't think you'd be interested. Just kidding. Don't tell the gens. I have it right here. Thought we'd go through it together. And we can start with, let's start with flaking asbestos, shall we? Nothing like flaking asbestos to start off a mail haul. You only live once, right? This will be a Europa book, I'll bet. A finished copy. They always send me them in these horrible packages. The whole goal becomes just to try not to spill it. Okay, it is a finished copy of a Europa book. Let's see here. Kind of wondering how the old MacBook's resolution will be, if maybe it's sharper than the new MacBook. Certainly the MacBook Air's resolution seems terrible. And maybe that's an irrational thing to be irritated about, because it's a fairly new machine, but it's so light and it's stripped of so much in order to be light that maybe it's a little irrational to expect the camera to be good. Anyway, this comes out in late April, and it is by Ahmet, Altan, and it is called Endgame. Let's see here. Seduced by the olive and oleander trees of a picturesque coastal village and by the beauty of its women, the disenchanted author settles in to write his newest crime novel in peace, but as he discovers the town's peculiarities, he also begins to question his own sense of what is real and is soon pulled into the town's dark underbelly. It says here that Ahmet Altan's internationally best-selling existentialist noir draws us into a world of desire, ambition, and murder. So, this guy's an international sensation. One of Turkey's most important writers. Was arrested in September 2016 for his work as a journalist. He is an advocate for Kurdish and Armenian minorities and a central figure in the Turkish cultural world. And a whole bunch of people have signed a letter demanding his release. Okay. But this, apparently, is the first book of his ever translated into English. Endgame. Okay. Alright. Alright, so let's see what we have here. Let's see what's next. See, on the screen here, it looks to me like the titles are reversed. It looks like everything is mirror image. And I don't know if that's going to stay true. We'll figure it out. Let's see here. Oh, okay. This is also due in April. This is the finished copy of a book we've seen on this channel before, Russia, the Story of War. About the singularly warlike people, the Russians. Let's see here. Part of an ocean of Russian-related books coming out in 2017. Just an ocean. The catalogs that I'm getting are it's ridiculous. Case in point. This also comes out in April. April is going to be just impossible. Just impossible. This is something I think you saw on Olive's channel. It's Moscow 1956. The Silenced Spring. About an attempt at a thaw, an attempt at... well, here, let's for those of you who didn't get the description the first time, Joseph Stalin had been dead for 3 years when his successor, Nikita Khrushchev, stunned a close gathering of communist officials with the litany of his predecessor's abuses. Meant to clear the way to reform from above, Khrushchev's secret speech of February 25th, 1956, shattered the myth of Stalin's infallibility. In a bid to rejuvenate the party, Khrushchev had his report read out loud to members across the Soviet Union that spring. However, its message sparked popular demands for more information and greater freedom to debate. And this is the sort of thing, it's not just the revolution. It's not just the 1917 revolutions that are getting all of these Russian... It's a general interest in all things Russian. That is, I gotta think, only heightened by the fact that Russia hacked the United States electoral process. And, is now a part of the governing process of the United States. I have to think that is increasing the hunger for all things Russian in the book chatter world. We shall see. We shall see what comes of it. We'll see if it gets any worse. If free inquiry is allowed to take its natural course, the Russia story in connection with the present United States administration is far from over. But we shall see. Oh, okay. Oh, we've seen this on this channel as well. This is, boy, it's a pretty thing. It's called The Revolution of the Moon. And it's by Andrea Camilleri. He's a murder mystery series writer. I think this is historical, though. The newest novel by best-selling Italian author Andrea Camilleri explores a little-known episode in Sicilian history, bringing a beguiling cast of characters to life with humor and imbuing it with all the dramatic intrigue of his Inspector Montalbano crime series. This is a remarkable account of an exceptional woman who challenges the iron-fisted patriarchy, written with equal measures of wit, wisdom, and impropriety. Yeah, it's set in 1673. It comes out in April, of course. But it's a historical novel from an author of thrillers. And it's lovely. Look at that. Isn't that nice? I'm going to see if the computer will flip this thing, this video. I think I can get it to do that. We shall see. If not, I'll list all the books down below and you can use your imagination. I don't want to give anybody vertigo. Alright, so this next thing is tiny. It's probably a slim volume of poetry. Yes, it is. So it's by Fred Marchant, who's the author of 4 previous collections of poetry and lives in the Boston area. This comes out in May. That's unusual. And it's Said, Not Said. Yeah, just, okay. Alright, well, as you all, some of you probably know, Open Letters Monthly, the literary journal where I have the honor to be the managing editor, we have a poetry editor. And I can just send her volumes of poetry and she'll figure out what to do with it. Then we have, next up we have The Digital Mind by Arlindo Oliveira. How Science is Redefining Humanity. What do computers, cells, and brains have in common? Computers are electronic devices designed by humans. Cells are biological entities crafted by evolution. Brains are the containers and creators of our minds. But all are one, in one way or another, information processing devices. The power of the human brain is, so far, unequaled by any existing machine or any known living being. Over eons of evolution, the brain has enabled us to develop tools and technology to make our lives easier. Our brains have even allowed us to develop computers that are almost as powerful as the human brain itself. So this is an exploration of the creation of the digital world. Interesting. Okay. And it comes out in April. I love that sort of thing. I love that kind of book. So we'll see. If it's dryly written, that'll be bad. But the subject matter is so interesting. Living history. We've watched it happen. Those of us who aren't teenagers have watched it happen. We've watched this technology blossom from nothing, from something totally theoretical that we only heard about, to something that we saw but didn't imagine ever owning, to something that we owned, and then to something that we can't live without. Okay. Next one's a thriller. It's a thriller. It's called Change Agent by Daniel Suarez. Nice pretty blue cover. And Daniel Suarez is the author of the New York Times best-selling Damon, Freedom, Kill Decision, and Influx. A former systems consultant to Fortune 1000 companies, his high-tech and sci-fi thrillers focus on technology-driven change. And as if that bio note weren't sufficient, they go the extra mile and tell you that he does, in fact, live in L.A. Let's see here. Here, in this book, he turns his eye to the future of CRISPR, genetic editing technology, CRISPR. CRISPR is a genetic engineering tool that edits the base pair of a gene, and it continues to make headlines as new advancements prompt major ethical questions. Just this month, a study was published in Molecular Genetics and Genomics detailing how, for the first time ever, Scientists in China, it's always scientists in China, can't they leave well enough alone over there, have edited the genetic makeup in viable human embryos. But while CRISPR has the potential to eliminate deadly heritable genetic disorders like cystic fibrosis, the technology could soon lead to illicit labs offering vanity edits to parents who can afford them. And unlike any other form of gene therapy, CRISPR edits are heritable, which has the potential to radically alter our societies and even our evolution as a species. And this book is set in 2045 and imagines what a future world like that would be. That's where it would be, where the science fiction would take us. It was barely science fiction at all. Okay, all right. How on earth can genetically modified traits be heritable? How on earth is that not? I'll have to look into that. All right, so change agent. We'll move on here. Move on to the next thing. Oh, all right, good. We've seen this before. This is also due in April. Oh, God. Send help for April. This is The Crucible of Islam by Bowersock, in the pretty finished copy. This is a part of a series, I believe. This is a Harvard series of little studies. I don't actually see the list here, but I'm fairly certain this is part of. Well, maybe not. Maybe it's a standalone. All right, so let's see. What is this next one? We're getting to the end here, and then we'll see what we can do with this video. That's the whole question here now. Is for me in these latest videos is to see what I can do with it once I'm done recording. Oh my. Okay. Okay, so this next one comes out in May, and it is The Silent Corner by Dean Koontz. Kind of a nice cover, where the letters mimic a corner. That's kind of nice. This is going to be big. Introducing Jane Hawk, devastated by loss, fueled by fury, and driven to stand alone against a terrifying conspiracy. She's a woman on a mission who will meet any threat, take any risk to avenge her family, and destroy a corrupt cabal with singularly evil intentions. Okay, so does this have... She's an FBI agent gone rogue. She's 27, incredibly tough, wonderfully smart, surprisingly tender. The story involves no supernatural elements. Okay, that was going to be my question. It involves no supernatural elements. So you Dean Koontz fans out there, is that a first for this author? To have no supernatural elements in one of his books? I can't recall any that fit that description. And then the last thing is the last item, and then we'll see how this uploads. We'll see if all these things, these images, if I can reverse the video. We're hoping that I can. Oh, great. From Harvard University Press. This is great. I knew this was out there, but I hadn't got it yet, and I never got the advance copy. This is Butterfly Politics by Catharine McKinnon. That is Catharine McKinnon right there. And this is a collection of occasional pieces by her, if I remember correctly. It brings the minuscule motion of a butterfly's wings can trigger a tornado half a world away, according to chaos theory, which of course is nonsense. But that's okay. It was in Jurassic Park, so we all have to believe it now. Under the right conditions, small, simple actions can produce large, complex effects. In this timely and provocative book, Catharine McKinnon argues that the right seemingly minor interventions in the legal realm can have a butterfly effect that generates major social and cultural transformations. And this brings together a wide variety of her writings on topics like that. And it is due in April. It's all right. So it's a nice, big, meaty book. The Butterfly Politics. All right. So we've got Butterfly Politics. We've got The Silent Corner by Dean Koontz. We've got Change Agent by Daniel Suarez. The Digital Mind by Arlindo Oliveira. Said Not Said by Fred Marchant. The Crucible of Islam by G.W. Bowersock. The Revolution of the Moon. Moscow 1956 by Kathleen Smith. I don't think I said that the first time. Gregory Carleton's Russia, The History of War. and Ahmet Altan's Endgame. And that is our old MacBook mail haul. And we'll see how this works. To see how temperamental it is when I finish. I'm going to wrap up now and try to upload this. So I'll hopefully see you soon, Book 2. Thank you.